Hello, this is my instructional video on getting fitted for an outdoor backpack. They come in different styles. This one here is for hiking, and then this one here is a hunter's backpack that helps you pack out your game. They come in different sizes. Some of them are day pack sizes, they're a lot smaller, or you got one, a giant one like this, that's meant for like a 2-week adventure. There's different brands to choose from. This one's called Mystery Ranch. It's a really good brand. I'm not sure what this one's called, but it's a Cabela's brand. So we'll go through the steps on how to get fitted on these. So the first step when you're getting your backpack is you're gonna have to figure out what size you're gonna get. And if you're ordering this off of the internet, you're gonna have to do some measurements. There's different brands have different ways of measuring the sizes. The Mystery Ranch brand, it only used the waist. And some of them use your back measurement. So for your waist measurement, it's gonna be basically just like your pants. You'll just get a tape measure and you'll just measure around like this and you just get that measurement. His is about 39 inches, roughly. The second measurement is gonna be the back. You have them tilt their head forward, and then you're gonna measure from the bony part right here, and you're gonna measure down to the top of the hips. You just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact because the sizing isn't exact. That was 19 inches. So when you go to figure out which size you need, you can use those measurements. If you go into like a store like Scheels or Cabela's, there will be somebody there that gets you fitted and you won't have to do this process. The next step you're going to need to do is, once you get your backpack, is you need to loosen everything. That way it's easy to put on. You can loosen all of these straps. You got your shoulder straps here, your belt straps, and these load lifters. Loosen those down. And then you're going to want to put some weight in your backpack so it kind of simulates a real pack out. We already have it loaded with stuff here. And then we'll go ahead and get this put on. So you'll just slip those on, and you'll want to help them, have somebody help you. So go ahead and let's tighten these down. But grab both of those straps and cinch them down a little bit. That way it's not so floppy. And then next, here, turn around. We want the hip belt to be on the top of your waist, on the top of your iliac crest. It's the top of your hip bone. You want that on the center of this, right here. So, go ahead and get that clipped in, cinch that down. All right, how's that sitting? Is it right in there? Okay. Then the next step is going to be to make sure that these are correct. If you turn to the side here, you'll see that there's actually no gap here. So we're actually going to have to take this back off and adjust it. We're going to have to raise these up a little bit so that there's a little bit of a gap here. Because if you don't have a gap here, it puts weight on your shoulders instead of on your hips. And you want 80% of the weight on your hips. So let's go ahead and take it off. Each backpack is going to be slightly different on how you adjust them. For this backpack, it has a really interesting mechanic. You just pull up on this red lever here, and you pull up, and then if you want to lower it, you pull this one. It even has different sizes that you can go by. And that's how we'll set it for him. So for this backpack, it's a little bit harder. You have to reach in here and break apart the Velcro, and then it'll raise up like that. That's how you set the straps on this brand. Each one will be different, so you'll just have to figure it out. And that's all there is to it for adjusting straps, the shoulder straps. So now that we adjusted the shoulder strap height, you can see that there's a good finger width in here, and it feels a lot more comfortable to him. You're also going to want to have these in the beginning set about at a 45-degree angle here. Just kind of like that, with a little bit of tension on them. You'll adjust them when you go hiking as your load gets heavier or various other factors for comfort. And then you'll go ahead and snap this in together. Snug it up. You don't want it too tight. You're gonna have to adjust this based on your comfort. You want to be able to, so these straps aren't falling off. This is what this is for, but you also don't want it caved in on your chest. You don't want it tight, so tight like that. You want to have it loosened. Now that's the end of the main setup. Get everything set comfortable for yourself. And as you hike, you can make adjustments to everything. And you'll want to tighten up all of your back parts. Each backpack's going to be different and have various pockets and straps that you'll want to adjust. One thing to note is keeping most of the weight down low as best you can. If you have to add more weight at the top, this is where your load lifters come in. That's why they're called load lifters, is because it pulls it towards you and it makes it feel better, because when you have a lot of weight at the top, it pulls away from you like that. And there you go. Now you can go on a hike and get it all tested out.